All right, let's continue here on Boxtorow with the Radio Boss. Got a special guest on the line. We're joined by an Epic Records recording artist, and she's got all of these great songs like Cali Love and Not Too Deep, featuring Black Moving On, I should say, by Anderson .Paak. It's by India Shawn. She joins us here on Boxtorow with the Radio Boss. How are you, India?
I'm feeling good, better today than I have been in the past few days. But I'm feeling blessed. I'm healthy. I can breathe out of both nostrils. No COVID here. All's well.
Okay, very good. Had you been a little under the weather the last couple of days?
No, not physically, but I've just been life is crazy right now. So ups and downs, but I'm braving through it, thugging it out.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of your posts, I believe it was on your Twitter account, which of course you can follow India on social media at India Shawn, mentioned, it said something like, one day I don't feel like doing music, then 20 minutes later you're back in the studio. You juxtapose like two photos with that. I guess maybe that was how you were feeling the last couple of days, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm like, I won't go in too much depth about that, but I mean, it's just been such a year of things not really going according to plan, obviously, and it's like, I'm taking everything step by step, both personally and musically, as all these changes are happening. So, just trying to stay positive and encouraged in spite of it all.
No, I get it. I mean, I definitely get it because I feel like you've done quite a few things this year, but obviously maybe not as much as you had planned to because of COVID. So, did you have tours and such that have, been canceled and whatnot because of COVID?
Yeah. Actually, at the start of the year, I was on tour with my boys, the Free National. They're the backing band for Anderson .Paak. And so, of course, we became cool last year on tour when I was singing with him. And so they took me on tour with them this year. So I did get some shows in before everything shut down. And we were supposed to tour throughout the summer. So, of course, that's a bummer. Like, I'm putting music out and I want to be able to meet my fans and the people who are listening to the songs. But, I'm just having to do the online thing and hop on IG Live and meet them that way. But yeah, tours. And just the release, the album probably would have come out this year. Should have, but
yeah,
it couldn't.
Yeah, but you've got to. What have you done? At least three videos this year, though, right?
Yep, 3 videos, 3 singles.
So looking forward to it. I mean, you got to build up to it, and it's going to come out because you have an interesting story, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. You're actually penned a lot of songs for a lot of Grammy Award winning artists, the likes of Monica and Chris Brown, and Carrie Hilson, El DeBarge, etc. That was, of course, back in the day, but kind of speak to that. That's sort of how you got started in this industry.
Yeah, I formed a writing team with my sister and a couple friends, and we were just in the college dorm room writing. And I was demoing songs around that time in Atlanta for a bunch of producers. They were all like big brothers, and then Polo Don, he ended up signing us to a publishing deal. And yeah, that's how it all got started. Came back out to LA, and we got the beautiful chance to work with some incredible artists. Chris Brown was probably one of my favorites. Just that experience was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So what college were you at?
I was at Georgia State University studying sociology, and I did go back and I got my degree and I got a bunch of student loans.
Well, congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
Well, what were those? What do you remember about those sort of those college days? I don't know. I mean, that was probably, I think so. So I don't know if you're a big sports fan, but Georgia State, I think was in FCS. They weren't FBS like they are now. But I don't know, were you at the football games and did they even have a football team back then? I don't remember.
I feel like, no shade, and I love Georgia State, and it was a great experience. But I feel like our sports teams were kind of sucky at the time I was in school. But yeah, it's funny because both in high school and college, I wasn't really immersed in like the social school life. I was just going to school, doing the class thing, and then going to the studio after, or going to work. Like I was always juggling work, school, and studio. So I didn't really have time to, I didn't do the sorority thing or anything like that.
So where are you from originally?
I am born and raised in Los Angeles, California. And, I also rep ATL because I did a lot of growing up there too.
Yeah. Yeah, no question. So it's interesting because I was reading where you mentioned in one of the interviews that, okay, you were writing and you were successful in the writing, but it wasn't really you. Like it was a situation where you were writing for people and writing for labels because that's what they wanted, but it's not what you felt.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing forced upon me, but what I was doing wasn't really in alignment with what I wanted to be doing, I guess. I wanted to be singing these songs and not just like in the studio day and night doing the rat race of trying to get placements, and it was just a stressful time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what led you to ultimately, I mean, obviously you wanted to be a singer, you had some inroads. So kind of take us through that and how ultimately you began on this path in terms of actually being an artist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was an artist first, even before I formed the writing team with the girls. But then like the writing kind of became somewhat of a priority. And then I was at a crossroads where I was like, I'm going to have to decide. I mean, I feel like there are the songwriters that they're like, I'm going to let this fuel everything and like catapult me to the artist thing. But like for me, I didn't want it to be that because I was already performing and I had already recorded original songs from the time I was 15 years old. So it was just like I was met with this crossroads decision of like, which way am I going to go? And like I said, ultimately, I wanted to be singing these songs that I was writing. I wanted to be focusing on myself because I was getting like kind of emotionally attached to some of the creative ideas we were coming up with. And it was like, okay, India, you can't have all these songs, this got to go to such and such and whatever. So yeah, I packed up and I went back to ATL and just recorded my first album, Origin, which is one of my favorite projects of mine, because it just came from a very authentic and pure place of just wanting to sing and wanting to express myself very purely at that time. So I was like, I don't care if nobody hears it. I'm doing this for myself, and my fans really love that album. So
yeah,
class.
Absolutely. Artist India Shawn joins us here on Boxtorow with the Radio Boss. Follow her on Twitter at India Shawn. Moving on, let's talk about that Anderson .Paak, because you all have quite a great relationship to the point you mentioned you were on tour with him on last year, and you have come up with this dope record and video. Moving on.
Thank you. Yeah, so I got a call last year to sing background for him, and I wasn't trying to be a background singer at that time, but I was a huge fan of his music, and it was for Coachella, so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Yeah, and then like they just kept calling me back, so I was like, okay, I think this would be a good opportunity to really take some notes and like learn what artistry means on this level, and just be a student of the game. And I did learn a whole lot. And I had already recorded the song Moving On, and it felt like he would kill it. I knew that it was like his vibe production wise, and it wasn't until this lockdown, earlier this year, that he was like, yo, what are you working on? Send me some stuff. He was like, I'll get on something. I'm like, all right, cool. You bored. And yeah, he got on it and also had this incredible vision for the video, and I just entrusted him to execute it, and he did a great job. It was his first time ever directing a music video, so shout out to me for giving him the opportunity.
Shout out to India Shawn, no question. It's interesting because how have you been able to adapt and adjust to COVID, particularly from the beginning? You mentioned some disappointments, but again, you've been busy. Like you got 3 videos. I mean, I don't know, but I'm saying that it seems like a lot for within that short amount of time for 2020?
Yeah. So we had some stuff queued up, you know, and I've been just like, put me in the game, coach, put me in the game, like just ready to get back in the game, you know. And this would be the year that I'm officially launching my career, right? So it was kind of crazy, but then of course, as everybody says, this was the time everybody was at home, and just totally tuned in to their phones, right? So there was that part. So I am glad that I got to drop those songs and videos, and I hope to just be more consistent in dropping next year because I have a ton of music and amazing visuals and ideas, and I'm just ready for you guys to see everything.
Absolutely. What does it mean? Like Epic Records has a lot of artists, a lot of well-known artists. What does it mean to you to be a part of Epic Records?
Oh wow. I mean Sylvia Rohn, you know. It's funny, I had run into her a couple years ago. I was singing background for my friend Nick Grant at one of his shows, and I saw Sylvia. You know, I've always watched her from afar, and of course just respected her, you know, as a legend in this industry. And I remember going up to her and being like, "Hi, you don't know me, but I just want to say I love you, and you know, I hope you like the show," type of moment. And then fast forward, you know, 2 years later, my boy Zeke from Atlanta, he's my A&R, and he, you know, signed me to my deal, and I'm on Zoom with Sylvia, and she's telling me how she believes in me, and I'm not just a flash in the pan. I mean, it's really a dream come true. It is a dream come true, and it's amazing to finally have a team working with me and not, you know, doing it alone.
Yeah. No, Sylvia, no question about it. Still doing it to this day. Sylvia Rohn, absolutely big time, no question about it. Cali Love, let's talk about that one. Obviously the inspiration is obvious for that because you are from Cali, LA. But what went into that? And the video's really creative, really dope also.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was like the queen of Cali with I don't know if you could tell, but it was like a crown of joints.
Oh, that's what the little
yeah,
motion,
they were like
yeah.
Crystallized joints, but you know, it's the Cali bud, the flower of the state. But yeah, you know, I'm back in Los Angeles now as an adult, and everything is beautiful. It's been an amazing experience to be back and just like learn it in a new way. But I don't know if you've heard, dating and finding love is like kind of impossible here. So that's what inspired that song, like just kind of struggling on the dating scene.
Yeah. And then Not Too Deep featuring Black.
Not too deep, not too deep. Yeah, Black and I, we go back to ATL. We had our whole little collective back there, which Mariba, Spillage Village, Black, Earthquake, like all Baby Rose. I mean, so many, Childish Major, so many amazing ATL artists that are on the scene now. But Black and I, we used to record back then, and I came up with this song, Not Too Deep. And once again, it was one of those things where just sonically, I'm like, Black would be perfect on this. So I sent it to him, he sent it right back to me. I absolutely love what he did. He sang and rapped on it. He's a master of both. So yeah, it's just vibes and collabs with beautiful friends. That's what the project is.
Yeah. So who would you mentioned Anderson, you mentioned Paak, and you mentioned, of course, Black. Who would you like to work with next?
You know, I really would like to work with some other female artists. My girl Mariba, who I mentioned, we've done some stuff. I'm a huge fan of this girl, Tiana Major 9, who's on the rise now. And then dream collabs, always Frank Ocean, Kendrick Lamar, Daniel Caesar. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know the album was delayed. Do you know when it may come out?
I'm aiming for early 2021. So not too long of a wait.
Yeah. What can we expect on the album? I'm assuming the 3 singles will be on there. What else can we expect?
Yeah, it's just sultry vibes, but I'm really tapping into, I've always been a huge fan of alternative music as much as I love R&B. And so there are shades of that on the record. It's very sultry, it's very soulful. D Mile has executive produced the project. He's, done Victoria Monet's album, Lucky Day's album. So it's that classic sound, real instruments, very musical, heartfelt lyrics and melodies. It's good music.
Yeah. So now, are you a big sports fan?
Eek.
That's okay. I mean, it's no problem. You out in LA, you got the two football. Yeah, for so long, LA didn't have any football teams. Now you got two in the Chargers and the Rams. The Lakers just win the championship. The Dodgers just win the championship.
Right. Go LA. I just rep the win. When we win, it's just like that's my city. But but no, I can't say that I'm a sports fan.
Yeah, that's okay. So last thought. Oh, so I know you're doing a promotion. You want to talk about that? Somebody has a chance to win a meet and greet with you, right?
Yeah, I just did this amazing performance that will be airing tomorrow. It'll be airing soon with Live by Live and Portia. And yeah, it was super cool sunset performance. And so I'm going to give fans the opportunity to have a little one-on-one meet and greet with me before that airs. And the technology that they're using for it is super dope. I haven't seen anything like it. I literally get to be in a room with, people who have supported me, just me and them, and we get to chat and take a picture in the room and everything. It's all digital. So yeah, that should be cool.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Follow India Shawn on social media. She's doing some great things. You heard her mention, with your album, hopefully sometime early next year.
Yeah.
Released from Epic Records. Looking forward to that as India Shawn joins us here on Boxtorow with the Radio Boss. India, really appreciate the time. Continued success in all you do.
Thank you so much. Continued success to you. Stay healthy and stay blessed. Thank you for having me.